Bastards! Hey everybody, it is Wednesday, hump day. For those of you who do the Monday through Friday thing, luckily I don't. I just do the Tuesday through Sunday thing, which I love very much. Thanks to all of you. My name is Dirk. This is Dirk Weekdays on the iBashers Network. It's your show. I just host it. How are you all today? Let's see who's in the room, starting out with the incomparable Andrew Wolkowicz. First, but I have off today, so I was ready. I love hearing that you had the day off. Upvote everyone and check that you are still Stephanie Silver Swan silently Hayward, still subscribed. Now, I had a conversation with the big guy. As you guys all know, that iBashers is officially under the umbrella of the Timeless Watch channel / Oisin O'Malley Network. That's where we began, and that's where we are. And we had a little conversation today about that. We found out that there is a glitch. There is an actual thing in the YouTube universe, the YouTuberverse. And that is that YouTube's got a glitch that people get unsubscribed from the channels that they watch regularly. Isn't that a weird thing? Now, I know a lot of you checked. A lot of you said you were still subscribed. Check from time to time. You'll still show up in the list. That's the weird glitch. Like if you look under your subscriptions on the left-hand side, your favorite shows will still appear there. However, when you go to the show, you'll appear as unsubscribed, and that's actually the one that counts. So it seems like they've moved up a little bit in the last week or so, and that's great. And like I said, either love me or hate me, go down or go up, but they just went nowhere for like 6 weeks, which is weird when you see the exponential growth of or decrease of other channels. And I watch a lot of YouTube content. It's probably my primary source of information, news, entertainment, all those things. I watch so many channels. If I look at my subscriptions, they're probably enormous. I haven't checked some of them. I probably don't watch anymore, but a lot of them I do. Congratulations to Britt Pierce for hitting 200,000 subscribers. Wow. I remember back in the day when she had like 1,000, and I think we went on her show, or she came on. She was on iBashers early on in the early days when she was just starting out. Always knew that she had some great content, very funny content in the beginning, and congratulations to her. So like, it's not affecting people like that. I mean, her channel's huge now, and good for her. Fantastic. Listen, do I want a huge channel? Sure, who doesn't? But what I don't like is to find that some of my favorite people in the world, the bastards, tell me that they've been unsubscribed from the channel, and I don't know what's doing that. I mean, it's an actual glitch. You can Google it. It's weird. Anyway, Andrew Wolkowicz, the head cheerleader, the mascot of Dirk Weekdays and the iBashtards. So let's give you the big gong. Because you deserve it, pal. Because I love all you guys. And like when I get a lot of emails. And not only is bashtard@gmail.com just for the Bastards Gallery, it's for you to communicate with me. Some of you have my older emails, and I still get those too, but this is the official one, bashtard@gmail.com. You share it with me, and I share with the world. A lot of fun yesterday, right? Started the show out just kind of like a normal show. I had been on the phone with Ush a little earlier. He came in and joined us, and that was really fun. Great to see him roaming around the streets of Venice. I'll be doing a walkabout, Dirk about to the ends of the world. I'll be doing one of those one of these days this week. I don't want to, ruin it because it's kind of a treat. I know that Sundays is a good day, so maybe Sundays will be the official day. But I also kind of like just springing them on you. That's fun too. Unfortunately, I don't get to do the Bastards gallery because it's too many ways. And once they consolidate the software and make it easier for me to get to everything, sure we could do that. But in the interim, it's got to be a studio only thing, which is fine because I like being here and I love hearing the good sound and seeing the great pictures and getting a better view, more connection. It's just me blabbing on the street and saying, this building was built in 1864. It was originally the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. That's fun too if you're watching, a documentary channel, which this isn't. This is a sharing channel of a bunch of super great people. And that's all. Vasilios P, number 4. It looks like you're number 2 to me. Dave Fahrenheit 451. He is upvoted number 6. Dean is here. Wonderful Wednesday with your host with the most, the Dirk Kennedy Show. Thanks so much, Dean. How come all of your pictures look like avatars? I wish I had that kind of skill. I just do not. Melly C is here. Good day, Dirk, and all the bashers. Happy hump day, beautiful people. The beautiful people. The beautiful people. I have to admit that I liked early Marilyn Manson music. Some of it. I liked the Dope Show. We're all stars now in the Dope Show. I thought it was very interesting and slithery. Obviously, he's a mega asshole. Or maybe he isn't. Maybe that's just a big facade and a big show. But, I think he's been canceled. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who knows? Franco Fiore, upvote now, bashers, and enjoy the show. Hey, Franco, how are you? Franco, why don't you tell me exactly, because you have Franco Fiore, I just think you're in Tuscany somewhere, or I have no idea where you actually are. So you know what you do? Send me an email. Tell me exactly where you are, because I don't know. I know where pretty much everybody else is when I'm not out of my mind and saying that Andrew's in BC. I don't know what that brain fart was, but that's what happens when you get to my age. You get a little like, what? Who's that? Julia Roberts? Who's that? I'll never forget. I was working with this kid, and he wasn't that young, but young enough. And we're talking about Ocean's 11. And I said, George Clooney. And he's like, huh? Like George Clooney. Like I could have said it 50 times to him and it just would ring 0 bells. He goes, I don't know who that is. When you don't know who George Clooney is, oh my God. I mean, I can understand if I said Aldo Ray or, Mercedes McCambridge. I picked Mary Wicks. Picked at some stars of yesteryear. We used to grace the great screens, the silver screens of Hollywood in the 40s, 50s. The greatest directors, Billy Wilder, William Wyler. But no, I said George Clooney, how do you not know who George Clooney is? I don't know. Al Benedetti, I know, is from Cleveland, Ohio. Greetings from Tropical. Isn't it weird what's going on for all of you international folks? The United States, these États-Unis, are going through a severe heat wave. It's 90 degrees and gross in New York. LA is going through some stuff too, and the middle of the country is getting besieged with horrific heat. And it's really dangerous. I actually got a warning from our energy company, the famous Consolidated Edison. And they said, please don't have all your air conditioning and all your stuff cranking. So I actually went around the house and said, okay, I'm not in this room. Usually I have all my air conditioners on all the time because Dirk likes it cold. And I turned it all off. In this particular room, I have a big air conditioner, which I turn off for the show because it's noisy. But I have one air conditioner on in my... that does my kitchen and living room, and I'll leave that on. It's on low and energy saver because, has anybody ever lived through a blackout in their lifetime? I've lived through 2. One when I was a little boy, and I remember playing ping pong in my parents' basement and the lights went out. And then the great, was it 2002? I think it was, because we all got scared because it was post 9/11 and we're like, oh shit, this is it, nuclear attack. And turns out to be one of the most fun nights I ever had. I was sitting out on the deck, and my friend Colin came over, who is Sheen and Emmett's cousin and the singer of their band. And he came over. We were drinking some wine. We had candles out. Blah blah blah. We had a good night, and then we heard these people in a restaurant across the way, and they were outside, and they were singing and playing badly. So we're like, we'll go over there. I had a great night, really great night. And then I remember around 4 o'clock in the morning, I rolled in, and as I was putting my head down on the pillow, I saw my digital clock go on. So that was the end of the blackout. But it was an interesting time. Blackouts are a weird thing. It brings brings a lot of things. Brings unity. It brings fun. It brings experiment, but it also brings looting, which I will never understand for the life of me, how anybody could get into the mindset that, okay, cameras are off and alarms are off and stuff, I'm just going to go steal. I'll never understand how that creeps into people's minds, but people who you would never think would do such a thing did it, and damage happens, and vandalism happens, and it's probably the best time to kill your ex-husband or your ex-wife. Wear gloves. No one will know, but who knows? Thank you, Al Benedetti, for that. Does that really count for bragging rights at this point? Have a wonderful Wednesday. I think it totally does. You got in there 10. That's top 10, baby. It's 5. Let's bash. Andrew's in the room. Hey, handsome. Good to see you. Right. Well done, Andrew. First, rightly so. P.S. Walked into a shop and bought a watch. A Bulova Computron. Great. Did you send a picture of that? I don't see it in the gallery of bastards. Send me your watch, a Bulova Computron. I don't see that. I'm expecting that, Ray. I want you to take a picture of it right now on your telephonic device, and I want you to shoot it through the interwebs to the satellite and then down to New York City, so I can share that with everybody. I don't see that yet in the room, but I would love to see it. Everybody'd love to see it. You're a Bulova man, and I live in Bulova Town, the hometown of Bulova watches. And as I found out, even though they're owned by Citizen, they are still headquarters in New York City. They're still headquartered here. That big, beautiful building, the Bulova building, which I've passed 800 million times, is beautiful, kind of fascist-y architecture. Art Deco meets fascism. It's a corporate park now. It's filled with other offices and things, but it's no longer affiliated with Bulova. But it says Bulova right outside. It has a big Bulova clock, which is probably quartz. Like when you go in the airport and you see all those Rolex, clocks everywhere. There's a battery in those. They're like, does Rolex make quartz? They do in airports. Vasilios P is here. Good afternoon to all. Good afternoon to you, Vasilios. Ray, congratulations from Andrew. I love you guys congratulating everybody. It's fantastic. Hands, knees, and toss. Hey, Dirk, looking very Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, I got a little salt and a little pepper. Yeah, that's what happens when you get old. That's how it rolls. Then there's Just for Men, which I use occasionally when I'm feeling like crazy old, or if I have a photo shoot or something to do. I don't, I haven't been able to embrace that full thing. I do it from time to time because my hair started going gray when I was 16. It's an Irish thing, lack of melanin. And, of course, at that time, my hair was very, very long. And then I had a midlife crisis a couple of years ago, and I grew my hair really long again, which was like, why did I do that? I did it for the tour that didn't happen. And, I colored it to make it whatever. But when I keep my hair short in the summertime, I generally just keep it buzzed, a little long on top and buzzed up on the sides and back. And I don't mind the salt and peppery thing. I think in the last time I went and just let it go completely for a couple of years was in the 2010s. I don't know. It's all right. I don't mind it. I mean, I'm getting to the point where what am I going to do? Andrew Olkovich says, I read that the SS United States needs to find a new home. Any thoughts? Well, sure. This is true. So for any of you guys that don't know about this, Paul is the New York City chair of the SS United States Conservancy. Now, the SS United States, for those of you who don't know, and I'll boot it up right now. Hold on. It's a very beautiful thing that, can easily become a part of this show because I have access to her because, who I'm married to. So, so the SS United States is the flag bearer, the the fastest ship ever built. It holds the blue riband in both directions across the Atlantic. It is the fastest and largest ocean liner ever built by the United States. It's smaller than the Queen Mary, but it's 997 feet, I believe it is. And I'll show you what she looks like. She's beautiful. She's been in Philadelphia, and she's not rusting for people who think that she is. She is not. She is 98.9% of her tensile strength. This is her in her beautiful days, looking great back in the day. And that, like that's a couple things. It's just paint. See, that's the only thing. But it costs a couple of $1 million to paint her. And that's actually our friend Dan McSweeney right there. And that's her back in the days when she was in New York City. It's just a lot of surface rust, and it's because she is not made out of steel. Her whole superstructure is aluminum, and the bottom is all steel. See, like all the fittings were pulled out in the 70s to pay for her, because she was decommissioned in 1969 when the jet age was in full swing, so she lost it. But this is what she looked like in the glory days. She's one of the most beautiful ships ever built. That's what she looked like then, and this is kind of what she looks like now. And she's in Philadelphia, so she's absolutely gorgeous. I've been on her dozens of times, and she was completely fireproof. There was no wood on the structure at all. So everything was either it was like mid-century modern architecture. So it was all steel and aluminum and glass. The only thing that was flammable on the ships were the 6 Steinway pianos that they had commissioned, and they were made with a very special fire retardant lacquer, which I guess it was CF Steinway at the time demonstrated. He threw a bucket of gasoline and lit a match, and it just fizzled out immediately. So the SS United States is looking for a new home because of the following crap. She's been in the Navy Yards in Philadelphia for like 18 years. And that's because, she was sold to this guy, that guy, the other guy, and then finally she was going to be scrapped. Now, I don't understand how the flagship of any country could be considered for being scrapped when it's a national monument and achievement to innovation. It should be patriotic pride. If anybody has any patriotism, they should have patriotism towards our achievements as a nation. And this was certainly one, because it was built at Cox and Gibbs, and William Francis Gibbs was the designer of the ship. And it was built with the cooperation of the U.S. Navy. So every single thing inside it was completely confidential and covert. No one knew what drove her. They were Westinghouse turbines, and nobody really knew what the capability of the ship was. It was all under wraps, like serious, like Soviet era, confidentiality. Turns out it was state-of-the-art stuff, that she was just an incredible vessel. But decommissioned in 1969, changed hands several times, never, ever, ever went back into commercial service, even though I believe several different shipping lines, cruise lines, were thinking about retrofitting her, and then economically it just didn't work out. So a group of very dedicated people, shippies they're called, ship aficionados, people in the military, people in government, people of all walks of lives, fans, etc., got together, and a guy in Philadelphia lent the SS United States Conservancy, which is headed by the granddaughter of the designer of the ship, William Francis Gibbs. Her name is Susan Gibbs, and she is the president and chair of the Conservancy. Somebody gave the Conservancy $5 million, and the Conservancy now owns the ship and has for, I think, 15 years. And a couple of deals have come, a couple of deals have gone. Currently, there's some information I'm not allowed to say publicly, but there is certainly plans and partnerships in effect that have been extremely successful elsewhere involved in the ship. So she just needs a new place to park. So, and it could be anywhere. Of course, we'd love to have her back in New York, but her former berth, her former slip in New York is occupied by the Intrepid. Which for some crazy reason, the people who run the Intrepid don't want her there. There's a spot right next door, but the governor of New York, not so keen on it. mayor of New York, not so keen on it. I don't know what their reasoning is for. They're selling all of our real estate to China, and they don't seem to have a problem with, with selling off New York piece by piece. But here's something that means a lot to the city of New York, to the United States of America. Like I said before, patriotism should have a lot to do with accomplishments. And this is one of the greatest things that was ever built. So there have been various plans over the years, but basically what the Conservancy would like is to turn it into a maritime museum, shopping esplanade, and hotels, an attraction. It's worked in Long Beach for the Queen Mary. It's worked in Rotterdam for the Rotterdam. It's worked for the QE2, which is now in the Emiratis, in the Emirates. So it's worked elsewhere, and there is a partner that is on board to a certain degree that we just need to buy a little time, because it's very, very close to getting this thing inked and in the second stage, which would be great, because this is Paul's passion project. It has been for years. I've driven down to Philadelphia a zillion times. I've been on the ship. I would assume she's got to get out of there by the end of September. So we just have to find a spot for her. I mean, it's something that's doable. So if anybody has a 1,000-foot slip in their backyard, let us know. And we'll be happy to park her there. But I don't think it's going to be that crazy. But I mean, it's been a tough road. A lot of disappointments, a lot of built up emotions, a lot of things for people who like to save things. I've always been a very big fan of landmarking things that I think are important in New York. Unfortunately, New York has a very, very shitty landmarks commission where it's political. We just recently lost the Pennsylvania Hotel, which was built by McKim, Mead and White, one if not the most important architectural firm in the last 200 years, who built Pennsylvania Station, which was demolished in 1963, and its sister hotel. We actually have the power station here in Long Island City, which was partially demolished to make way for luxury condos, because what else is there? Luxury condos in this world. So we just recently lost. It was one time the largest hotel in the world. It was 2,000 rooms. It's absolutely beautiful, turn of the century meets Art Deco, limestone and wood, and the most beautiful lobby, and everything was great about it. You know what they're doing? You know what they did? They sold it to a Chinese investment firm, and they're building some kind of luxury towers on 7th Avenue and 33rd Street. Blech. Not a great part of town. It's always been, like my whole life, that's where Madison Square Garden is. And I know Madison Square Garden is a very popular venue worldwide for people to play there. And it's prestigious and it's got so much history. But for me, it's just a thing that they built after they demolished the world's most beautiful building. It's also a shitty sounding venue. It doesn't sound good. The sight lines are weird. It's a fully round thing, so it's very hard to see stuff unless you have certain kind of seats. They put a lot of money into it. I don't know. It's very storied, but it's no Royal Albert Hall or one of the Palais or the Hollywood Bowl or Radio City. It's none of those things. It's just a big arena of no architectural impact whatsoever, and that's what New York does. Anyway, you read correctly, and I went off on a crazy tangent, but you know what? Hey, thanks for bringing that up. So if anybody is interested, it's the SSUnitedStatesConservancy.com. You can read everything you want about it. She's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful thing. I'll just bring up her, and then I'll put this to bed. Her Wikipedia page, so you know who she is. She was built in Newport News, which was the most important dry dock in New York, in the United States of America, at a cost of $79 million. That would be almost $1 billion today. Now, you know, cruise ships cost upwards of $1 billion. And if you've seen the cruise ships now, cruising is not something that interests me in any way, shape, or form. I know a lot of people are fans of that, because you're like in a hotel room and you get to go places. I get the concept of it, but what I don't like is I generally don't like cruisers, because it just looks like a shopping mall, and it looks like a lot of eating until you drop dead and drinking until you drop dead, and not many places to go. So This is the SS United States, and you can have a look-see and find out all about her if you want to go to her Wikipedia page. And she's beautiful, and I absolutely love her. At first, I thought, what a crazy thing to be into, but you know what? I adore her, and she's beautiful, and I've got amazing photographs and some artifacts. I have taken a couple of things off her, and very small things like little pieces of broken glass, this amazing leaded glass. People have gone in there and taken bigger things. I would never do that because some of the stuff, I've been in her engine room, I've been in the bowels of her. It's enormous. Incredible. Bert Dundee is here. Hi, folks. Hey, Bert Dundee. Great to see you. Great to see you. Interesting, Mr. Bong. Evening, old bashers. Dirk, have a great one. Everyone upvote for a fun evening. Great to see you in the room, Mr. Bond, with his Sprite, right? Look at that thing. That's the left-hand drive. Wow. That's amazing. It's funny though. I'm just so used to. Doesn't it make sense? Because I'm a lefty, and I'm a lefty. You're a lefty. I guess we're all lefties. It's so much easier for us to wind our watches, isn't it? It's not when you're. It should be the other way around, shouldn't it? Isn't design wise? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Or who cares? Who cares? I think that, like, listen, when I have to wind my watch, of course I don't have to wind this one because it's automatic. The only thing I have to do with this is press the Indiglo on my beautiful Weekender. Melly C, I love you. I'm loving it. Everybody, I was wearing this last night. Everybody's like, oh my God, where'd you get that watch? I'm like, oh, Melly C gave it to me. They're like, Melly. Funny stuff. Andrew says, sooner or later, everyone gets canceled by people that spend too much time complaining and not enough time enjoying. A lot of people get canceled because people want money out of them. That's a big one, you know. And that's a shame. That's a shame. Andy Dufresne, back from my first ride with Tesla Model 3. Not my cup of tea. Don't find it user-friendly. May take some time to get used to it. Did you buy it? Or did you go for a test drive of those? My nephew has the one with the gull wing doors, I guess it is. I don't even know if it is the one with the gull wing doors. It's white, and it was the fastest thing. When I said, oh, cool, I heard they accelerate really fast. So he took me, we were at my parents' house, and he said, oh, get in. And he hit I guess, can you still call it a gas pedal? Did Tesla people call it a gas pedal? The accelerator. And it scared the living shit out of me because I just went, poof. It just threw me back in my chair so hard. It was really, really unbelievably scary. So they're fast. I mean, those electric cars are fast, but we were watching a documentary on what are we going to do with all those batteries, man? We have one problem, we're trying to solve it, and then we create another problem. I'm all for that. Maybe the car company, we were watching a documentary on a company called Fisker, which has solar panels on the roof, and that was the way to get around a lot of stuff. They filed for bankruptcy, probably because Tesla dominates, I guess. Is Tesla the best-selling electric car? This is not an area that I know very much about, but maybe. I don't know. Hans Niesenthal says, 1-1. You happy with the Resolute? I don't know what that means, but the result. I don't know what that means exactly, but we'll find out. Tell me. Bert Dundee says, yeah, have to be all down to Sunday now. Oh, you guys are talking about football. How did I miss that? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I know baseball. That's about all I know. Dirk Sunday Mass Bash. It was surprising that you could speak quietly in the church. I thought you only had loud or fog on. I'll tell you one thing that you learn when you study voice, and that is to not whisper, because whispering is actually the most dangerous thing you can do to your vocal cords. So you have to learn how to speak quietly while using your vocal cords, because if you whisper like that, basically what it does is it takes away all of the moisture from your vocal cords, and they rub together without it. But when you apply a little bit of musculature and you're using the actual vibration of the cords, it lubricates itself. So I may not talk really quietly like that. Actually, everybody was in there talking. Well, there was no mass going on. It wasn't really quiet or anything. I mean, it was quiet, but nobody seemed to mind. And the one thing I didn't realize, and I wished somebody said something, I didn't realize I had a baseball hat on for like the first 15 minutes I was in that church. I mean, I felt like such a POS. I didn't realize it. I was so worried about my camera and my bag and my stuff. I didn't realize. And then when I flipped the camera around, I went like that real quick and pulled it off. I went, oh my God. And I spoke to that woman while I had a hat on. That very nice woman named Carol, who was very informative and told me about all the cool stuff about that church, St. John the Divine. It's off my bucket list, but I'm going to go back. I might even go there for a mass because, as you guys know, I occasionally go up to St. Mary's, my local church, and I attend mass occasionally. Just when I want to feel a little bit of peace and tranquility and inspiration, or see some people who I normally don't get to see. And there's always a lot of people in there that I don't know. But this place, I might be interested, not because of the whole inclusivity thing, though I think that that's really nice. It felt like a Catholic church, and I don't care what religion anybody is. I mean, spirituality is spirituality. If you pray to a rock, or don't pray at all, or to the cat gods or the dog gods or the nature gods, it shouldn't really matter because most of it is complete bullshit anyway. With man-made stuff for us to, all the stories and stuff, whatever. Is there a higher power? Well, tune in Sunday and find out. I mean, there has to be. Of course there is. Is it the specific things that these men wrote about? Probably not. But faith is all that we've got in this world. Faith in a God or a spirituality, faith in people, faith in humanity, faith in love, faith in trust. And that's important. And I personally think it's great to believe in God because it gives you it makes you less of a shitty person. There's a certain sector of society that don't have gods, and they don't give a fuck. So they just, pray to money and they do this, that, or the other, and they don't care. It's good to have to answer to somebody. It's like everybody needs to answer to somebody. I mean, feeling guilty has been instilled in Catholics and Jews forever and ever and ever. Less so the Protestants and stuff. There's Catholic guilt and there's Jewish guilt. And, taking that away, I think it started with feeling bad. If you do even like the most minor infraction, forget about the big sins. We have the 10 commandments and all that. So no one should do any of that stuff. But I mean, this church, I went in there and she's like, yeah, we have female priests and everybody's gay and blah, blah, blah. She's like, we even have a gay bishop. I was like, surprise. I just thought it was beautiful that the architecture felt like a Catholic church and it felt like Catholicism without the guilt. But I don't know. I don't have a problem with feeling like I have a higher power to answer to. I think it's important. And I think it's one of the main reasons why we didn't eat each other already. I think we haven't eaten each other already because most people do believe in a higher power. I've toyed with the idea of being atheist and I just can't understand it. I just cannot understand it. There has to be something. There must be something better than this. Has to be. Because I'm so into astronomy and all of that stuff. So when I see these star systems and how far these are, I mean, when you were a kid, didn't you wonder what's outside the universe, right? And I think of Horton Hears a Who, we are here, and it's a speck of dust, and it's the entire universe. And then Mrs. Tucanella thinks Horton's crazy, and she has him committed, and it turns out it's all true. I mean, we're just microscopic drops of star matter, right? Maybe that's where we are. But think about each and every single one of us have a conscience and have a history and loves and a story and the pets and the people and the things we shared. It has to be connected, right? I'm not trying to get too heavy on a Wednesday Bashers, but there's got to be more than there has to be. And I don't know what it is, but there has to be. And I'm glad that there has to be. Hey, Smithy. Good morning from a chilly. Oh, good for you, chilly. It's so hot here. But blue sky, Taronga, New Zealand. It's our shortest day tomorrow, so we can look forward to warmer weather. Every once in a while, with Duolingo, if I miss my early bird or my night owl, I'll put my time zone on my iPhone back. Sometimes I'll put it to Auckland. It works. Bert Dundee. Cheers, mate. Cheers to you. Andrew says, I have central air and a heat pump. I have gone through many power outages. Well, power outages in your town or just for you on your particular grid, or do you power your own house? It can be fatal in winter. It's very dangerous for older people. Today is Rose's birthday, by the way. So after the show, I'm going to pick up the cake I ordered, get her a candle, get her some flowers, and we're going to go down there and have cake and coffee. And I worry about her and I make sure you have your air conditioning on, you have your heat on, all that stuff. Because when you're older or you're a child, it's real. Like, listen, us in the middle, we can take care of our own stuff and wipe our own asses. But you know what? When you're a little bit older, like sometimes she's like, "Oh, I didn't think to put it on. I didn't think to put the air conditioning on." Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Ray Ray says, "'Twas sent last night's show." Wait a minute. Did I see this, Ray Ray? Oh, I have it checked for today. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to look at it right now. Oh, after the Grace O'Malley. Oh, it is. You were the last picture of the night last night. You sent it when I was done there, Love Bucket. Spaghetti. Oh, there it is. We'll start off with that tonight in the Gallery of Bastards. Hands, knees, and toss. Join the club. Han says, my barn, it looks like Paulie Walnuts. He's dead now. Silver Fox, yeah, I wish. Dirk, you will feel cleaner in the summer if you shave. Won't suggest where. Yeah, it's going. I almost did it today, and I was like, you know what? I couldn't. My buzzer was not charged. I was like, oh, shit. But I think I'm just going to go make a barber's appointment and go get a real shave. And I think I'll film it and put it on the channel. Because I want Sheen to go to a barber. Because I've done it a couple of times. And it's great. You lay back, they put the hot towels on, they steam your face out, and then they buzz this, and then they just take a straight razor and the leather and all the Barbasol and all the great tonics and lotions and oils that they put. It's really kind of, it's like, listen, it's the most pampering a man could do. Like, ladies get to go and have, you could go get a pedicure and a manicure too if you want. And I've had both of them. And you know what? I do a really good job on my own. I have all the tools. I've got all the clippers. I have this thing. And, and I do a pretty nice job. But like, your feet are different. And if a man's going to wear, and I wish men didn't wear flip-flops, and I've said this on Watch Fashion Police, and thank God I was backed up by Mr. Tom Ford, who said the one thing that men should never wear is flip-flops, and they shouldn't. No man should ever be caught dead in a pair of flip-flops unless he's at the pool or on the boardwalk, like at the beach. Not to stroll the boardwalk, but like at the cabana, the pool, or the beach. You shouldn't be wearing them. They're gross and they look terrible. And most men don't take care of their feet, which is gross. So I always recommend men do that. And also, if once in a blue moon, just give yourself a little pampering thing. What I don't like is, and can I just say it? Who cares, right? Who cares? There was a place here in Long Island City, and it was closed. And when they closed it, I went, oh shit, because I got a really weird vibe in there. And the vibe was, let's just say they were from somewhere else. And they're talking amongst themselves, and there weren't very many men in there. But I went in there for a pedicure because I was going to a pool, and I wanted to not look like a caveman. And she said, okay, what do you want to do? She showed me a chart of what I could get. And I was like, I'll do this. She goes, you want a calf massage? I was like, I don't think so. And she's like, oh, well, okay. So I chose no. So we get done with the pedicure, and you get to put your feet in the water, and that's nice. And then this woman started like getting this kind of, I don't know what it's called, like a salt rub or whatever, and started doing the calf thing. And I'm reading a magazine, as you do. And then she just kept asking me if I liked that, and that would I like her to continue that. And I was like, it's okay. No, I'm good. And she said, well, because we have another room. And I was like, no, I'd like to go now, if you don't mind. I think we're good. And they were closed down. And you know why they were closed down? I don't have to tell you. Because somebody went in there undercover, and they said they wanted to go into the back room, this other salon, and they were offered what you think they were offered. Ew. The barber's not going to do that, fellas, so don't worry about it. And I was just like, you could always feel that kind of creepiness. Not good. That was like a couple of years later. I had thrown my back out. Not thrown it out, but I had a problem and I was going to a chiropractor. And as a joke, two of these great guys who I absolutely love, who used to drink at my bar, said, "You got to go to this place. It's right by you in Greenpoint. Go in there and they're going to take care of you. And it's amazing." I was like, "Oh, I don't really feel like it." And like, no, it's like they're going to just, it's like better than going to a chiropractor. It was a whorehouse. And they sent it to me. Sent me there as a joke. And I walked in there and it was like dark. And I was like, I'm supposed to see whoever. And a woman came out in a robe. And then I just texted him and I was like, "You're an asshole." And they laughed and they thought it was funny. Listen, not for me. Not for me. But I'm going to shave this off. How did I get started on that tangent? Yeah, I had a midlife crisis. I could not afford a Ferrari, so I bought a red lawnmower. Good for you. Do you know what? My mother-in-law has a John Deere lawnmower that she sits on because they have a pretty big backyard, and she loves it. You know, it's little toys. Toys make you feel good. No doubt about it. Hitesh C says, "How about a walkabout at the SS United States?" You know what? Absolutely, I can do that. Absolutely, I could do that. And I thought what might really be cool too is, and I have to find out what's going to happen, within the next couple of months. But for the summer, anybody who's in, because I'm not a big channel, I can't fly people all over the place. I hope one day that I can do that. Wouldn't that be great? Because I'd be like, "We're all going to Antigua, brand new car." I was thinking about maybe doing one of those walkabouts and saying who anybody's in the New York area. I can get like a couple of people on there at any given time because we do tours there. So I'm thinking maybe for the summertime, there's two things I'm going to do this summer. One of them is I'm jumping out of an airplane, and I want to do that in next July or August. And that's going to be a place called Skydive Long Island in Calverton. So anybody who wants to be in the New York area and join me for that, you can send me an email at bashtard@gmail.com. Now, you go tandem. There's training if you've never done it before. If you've done it before, even better, do it. Because I've never done it, and I've always wanted to do it. It's on my bucket list. And the other thing is, and I thought about this before, and that's a great thing that you mentioned it. I think it's a great idea to maybe do an SS United States. I could do a whole historical thing. We could do like a couple hours, and then maybe if anybody's in town, they want to go out, go on the ship, and then we could all go out to dinner and have drinks and all of that kind of shit later on. That's something that can definitely be done. So that's great. Andrew says SS United States still holds a speed record. Yeah, she sure does. She's got the blue ribbon in both directions. She's a very sexy lady. It's one of the most beautiful, sleekest ships. She sits low in the water. She doesn't look like a box floating, because now these ships are they have no shape. They just look like a hotel that floats. And that they're not beautiful at all. They're not beautiful at all. Yeah. So hands, knees, and toes says, watching for the first time on my laptop and just realized you have a stand-up piano. Do you play? I do play, and I don't have a stand-up piano. This is a green screen. I have a wall behind me with an air conditioner. This is my music room. I have about 50 trillion guitars in here, and I do have a giant keyboard behind me. But this is a green screen. It's fake. But I have a good green screen. Right? It took me a while to figure it all out. But there's a keyboard right behind here, and I played piano since I was a little kid. I'm not as classically trained piano like a Shane is. He's studied like Chopin, Mozart, Bach, all that shit. I can play and I can write, and with my band Hitman, I often played and performed with it live. But and I'm pretty fast. That's about it. My left hand is dead. My right hand's pretty good. But so, yeah, sadly, that's fake. I do have a lot of guitars. It's just, unfortunately, none of these are them. Can you imagine how amazing it would be if the great lady was taking passage a couple of times a year from New York to Europe again? Yeah, but sadly, Andrew, that's never going to happen because everybody just wants to get on a plane and get where they're going. The only ship that does that is the Queen Mary 2. And Paul's been on it, and my sister and my nephew have been on it, and I don't know why I couldn't go, but I couldn't go. I probably didn't want to go because I didn't want to leave the pets, Hey, watch it's Brian. Upvote. I'm listening to Dirky while getting a little worky. Hey, watch it's Brian. Look at Mr. Sophisticado there. Looking great always. If New York cut a deal with the SS United States to let people rent cabins as apartments, that too, that's available too, because hotels can't even be hotels anymore. The Plaza is a residential place. The hotel in it is so tiny now. They just can't do it. And it's an amazing thing. Guarantee some dickhead business twunk will buy her cheap and let her rot. Well, no, we're not going to let that happen. No. We are the custodians of the SS United States. So a partnership will have to be making sure that she's going to have a history ahead of her. It happened with the TWA hotel, which we were very involved in too. And that was up and down and up and down. And anybody who's going through John F. Kennedy Airport, even if it's just for a couple of hours, please, Terminal 5, go to the TWA hotel. I've been there many times. I have dinner there. I've even stayed there overnight. It is the Eero Saarinen's beautiful testament to modern flight, the flight wing, and they built this beautiful hotel. It is exceptionally done. And that's exactly what we'd like to do with the SS United States. Roll of the Tiger. The real question is, how hot is it? It's hot, pal. It's super duper hot. Let's give you a... It's hot. It's hotter than F, as they say in the Biasness. Did I miss one? I think I did. For some reason, my chats are going by really fast. Thank you, Roar the Tiger, for upvoting and for the super chat. We're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. Last night I was watching, you guys know I'm a big Tom Jones fan. I've been in love so many times, thought I knew the score. I was watching The Voice Croatia. I don't watch The Voice, but I typed in that song into YouTube, and this guy who won The Voice Croatia, he's a 19-year-old kid. He's got the deepest, most beautiful, most resonant voice. His name is like Martin Kovacs or Kocek or something. Kosovic. He's freaking amazing. Look him up, Martin on The Voice Croatia, and he sang that. I'll Never Fall in Love Again. I absolutely love that song because I love me some Tom. Tom Jones is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when so many shitty artists are, which makes no sense. And he's in his 80s. Would you just fucking put Tom Jones in there? That guy rocked his face off. He duetted with everybody. And This Is Tom Jones. That show, if you watch it, it's like he doesn't have Ethel Merman on his show. He's got Janis Joplin on his show. He's the most rock and roll there is. Le Carré, buying an electric car from a traditional car company that is used to designing cars might be a better option for good experience. This is probably very, very true. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree. Dean with a £4.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. Let's give you the Monks. Yeah. Bob Dylan wrote, everybody needs somebody. Yeah, you got to serve somebody. Serve somebody. It's true. It's true. It's absolutely true. Ray says, sorry, Dirk. I wanted to tell you to take the cap off. Thought it might thrown you off kilter. Are you Protestant? In the Republic of Ireland? In the West? They let you stay there, are you? Roar, nobody's very religious in Ireland anymore. It used to be the next to Italy was the biggest Catholic thing ever. Hardcore Shutterbug, ground control to Major Duck. How are you, Stevie Pooh? Bert Dundee, we are all Stardust. We are. It's true. It's true. Buddy, the blues is alive and well. It's true. The Bruce Lim says, God is life, Dirk. You know what? I mean, like we would have destroyed ourselves if had people not decided that the stars and the sun and the moon mean something, right? I don't know. Ray, as a Roman Catholic, I forgive you for being a fallen. Listen, it was all Catholics, and then they protested. One guy wanted a divorce, and he wanted it really bad. Hey, it's all good. Listen, man, I don't give a shit what religion people practice. Doesn't matter as long as you're just not an asshole. And if I think, unfortunately people get involved in, aren't they all cults, I guess, to some degree, when people get involved in certain things that are, ridiculous when they're searching for something. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know. Hans likes the beard. Yeah, I could grow it back. I could grow it back fast. But you know what? It's getting so hot out. It's getting so hot outside. I'm going to sound like Paul Stanley. It's getting so hot outside, people. You need something to cool you off. It's got a lot of people out there that like to drink tequila. That's how bad it was when you were a kid and you loved live albums. You knew all the singers' raps, which was ridiculous. Luc Macide, $10, walked into Notre Dame Cathedral years ago wearing a hat and immediately got yelled at. Yeah, like, look, in a Catholic church, maybe just in a I don't have that much experience with Protestant churches. I don't. So maybe that's what it is, Luke. I don't know. Let's send you to the cuckold. The wife is making him do crazy stuff, or in the arena fighting a lion. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Or in a public shower. Yeah, that's that's where it was going, and that whole thing just freaks me out. I have no problem with it. People want to do that, whatever happens between consenting adults, it's fine with me. But yeah, I run because I'm a good older boy, and just the whole thing just freaks me out. Yeah. Anyway, you know what? It's time for my dearest friends. It's time for the gallery of bastards. Send me the shots, the sublime absurd. The gallery of bastards. You share them with me, and I share with the world. The world. The gallery of bastards, starting out with Ray, and I'm going to start out with because I already did that, the Grace O'Malley whiskey, which seems so commercial, doesn't it? But whatever. Here's this brand new Boulevard, looking great. Look at that thing. I've seen this thing so many times in magazines, and you have one. Now, is that a brand new one? Because they're making them again, right? Or is this a vintage? Is that vintage, Ray? Wow. Amazing. Beautiful. Thank you, Ray. Becky Brown. Hey, look who's back. Becky Brown. I had a nice little email exchange with the beautiful Becky Brown. She's a big follower of the channel and a sweetheart and an amazing person. And she's in Nice. So she decided to send us some beautiful shots of what she did when she was window shopping. Wow, look at that two-tone sky dweller. Beautiful. How many people have a sky dweller? I know that I know a few of you do, right? There's a Cermet, right? The ceramic Kermit. Rolex had some things. There's a Yachty. Did they discontinue that? Or they kept that? I mean, I didn't even pay attention. Here's some diamond encrusted Datejusts. And this is in Nice. Nice is a fancy town. She's got more, but she's sent me 3 at a time. So what I'll do is I will... Oh, this is nice. Seems like now this there's not much of a weight on this anymore, right? On the root beer. A lot of people have been showing up with root beers. I mean, I know that's in a store window and it's probably not for sale or something, but it's like they don't. Oh, there's a Batman, like an actual Batman. Huh. Oh, there it is. She took a picture of it. Yeah, it is. It's blue. Can't tell. Very cool. Oh, shit. I didn't realize there was that many more. Oh, look at that's nice. Oh, look at that. They're like colored indices. Isn't that smart? What do we got here? All sky dwellers. Oh, look at that. Oh, and a black Explorer too. And there's the polar on the bottom. That's a great shot. Look at Nice. Oh, man. I've never been to Nice. I hear it's nice. And there's, yeah, I'd go for that in a heartbeat. I love the Explorer. Is the Explorer 2 Polar, and beautiful. I would love a vintage Pepsi or a vintage Explorer. I just love them. They're so classic, aren't they? Becky Brown, she comes back in a big way. She's so positive and lovely and sweet. So nice. And then, what a treat, because she knows I love Longines. And here's some great like chronomats and dress watches. Look at this. These are great. Look at these beasts. 1,700. Look at these prices. Oh, that's getting up there. That's the Dolce Vita. That's the big watch. It's selling out. It's doing really, really well. They have a great Hollywood campaign. What's Jennifer Lawrence is the spokesperson for that now, and it's doing really, really well. And I'm glad to see Longines is having a little bit of success. Here's some beautiful. Look at this. These are great. Love Longines. It's great. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Oh man. Look at those. Those are beautiful. Longines, nobody gives a shit, you know? It's weird. This wrap this up, and I want to take this right now. This is a chronometer, right? That is killing me. See, I would much rather. I know everybody loves Daytona. I'm not a fan of the Daytona at all. Obviously, I'm a speedy guy, but I just think this is a way cooler looking watch. I just don't, you know me. I hate this. I know it's waterproof and all that stuff, but I just don't like the look of the screw down pushers. I just hate it. I think that watch looks over engineered. Looks like a guy who works out at the gym too much. You know, amazing. These are beautiful. That's this. They were pumping this one. This one is very cool. Look how deep it is. Holy shit. The rehaut is so deep on that. And is that an illusion? Very cool. Thank you, Becky. Thanks. What a way to pop back onto the show with great stuff. Andrew Wolkovich is here with the kids, as always. Look at that. Looking for attention. Is that one of your socks? Isn't that funny? You buy them all that stuff, and what do they want to play with? The socks. Oh, that's your foot. Your foot's in the sock. That's so funny. I love that they're still playful at that age. Look at that beautiful baby. Beautiful. What a baby. What a baby angel. What a baby angel. Mr. McKenzie, Auntie Jude. Oh wow, look at this. Some snow shots. God, I don't miss winter until I miss winter. Look at that. Oh, that's what New York looks like 1 hour after snow. Soot and shit. It just, you know, that's the thing. It looks great while it's snowing, and then see, that looks nice. What a lovely little lane. Oh yeah. That's a pretty big highway, right? Wow. Isn't that pretty when the trees get like that? So I lived through this famous ice storm when I was a little kid in the 70s, and it was they made a movie called The Ice Storm, and it was about it. Basically, it started to rain, and then it got so cold that the rain froze on everything. So all the trees looked like they were made out of glass, and a lot of them shattered, and it was very cool. That's beautiful. Look at that. I love these. I love this little winter treat. This is great, man. Thank you for sharing these. Wow. Isn't that nice? So quiet and peaceful when the snow is on the ground. You could hear a pin drop. Beautiful, man. Thank you for those. So cool. So cool. That's the Melly C with some Eminem madness. Eminem madness, Eminem madness. This is some Mindy madness she's trying to pretend she's a ball so no one could see her. Look at that baby face. Mork's giving us the face. He's mad. Well, he's a lion. Lion. There's a character named Lion in a very famous movie called Valley of the Dolls, and the lead actress, Barbara Perkins, I think it is. She speaks like this. She goes, Lion, I don't know what you're thinking of. Oh, look at him. You baby. Oh, hanging off of a thing. I love when they do the marsupial thing and they hang off the sides. Like, don't fall. Oh, going to be a big yawn. I see a yawn coming on. Aw. Look at him. Having a snooze. Oh. Mork. Oh. Oh, you disturbed her during her nap, right? That's what's happening. She's like, why are you photographing me? Stop photographing me. Oh. Mork gets a star turn on this batch of pictures, which is always great. Because he deserves it. Al Benedetti with a Grand Seiko. What, is there nothing in here? Oh, what does it say? It's just an icon, Al. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Oh, it's an email. I'll read that after the show. I didn't realize it was Janine. I thought it's got a logo in it, so I'll find out all about it right after the show. Thank you, Al. Bert, Mr. Dundee, you got, starting them off early, I see. Is that the Bulgari? It looks like it. Oh, wow. It definitely is, right? Wow. Just one shot. That's the Octo, right? Looks like it. I mean, get them started early. Start collecting. It's better than, listen, it's better to do that than other things. Good evening from Greece. Thank you, Vasilios. Oh, that's nice. With his Tiso. Looking great on a beautiful strap and a beautiful nighttime. Is that the actual moonlight? It looks like it does. It looks like the moon is, look at the path of the light source. That's crazy. So Sheen and I was out with Patrick for on Saturday for my birthday, and he took a picture of the moon on his Samsung phone, and it had craters on it, and you could see it up close. It was absolutely incredible. I was like, oh my God, iPhones suck. I can't believe we use these things. And it turns out it's a scam. Turns out that there's software, AI software in their operating system. And even though like Patrick was like, no, I took a picture with some branches in front of it. No, they use software to compare it with something that's in the phone already, and they enhance it when you do the big blow up. It's like a total thing. There's so many articles on it. Anyway, I'm amazed by that. Amazed that they get away with that. But, I was like, oh, thank God, because I was like, I'm going to get one of those phones. And I'm glad I didn't. Hey, Justin. Oh, look at that. Just Martin showing off his trip to the TWA Hotel. Now, this is upstairs on the opposite side of the Lisbon Lounge, where they show off all the Oleg Cassini. Oleg Cassini was a fabulous designer in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. I don't know if that brand still exists. I don't think so. But in the 70s, it was like they were doing car interiors. But these are all the uniforms that the flight attendant used to wear. So there's a museum on display. And look at this, Trans World Airlines terminal. With so much great stuff to be had. Yeah, I mean, dude, if you guys want, I'll just bust out all my pictures one day, because I've been there many, many times before it was finished. Paul actually worked for TWA. He was a ramp rat. He used to load bags on the tarmac for TWA. So that's why I have that TWA jacket. It's real, it's vintage. He used to wear it, and we have so much TWA stuff. My dad was with American, so obviously we've been into the whole airlines things for quite a long time. But that's why he was so passionate about the TWA Hotel, because he worked there. And thank you for that. Thank you so much for showing us that. And that, my friends, is the gallery of bastards. Send me the shots, the sublime the gallery of bastards. You share them with me, and I share with the world. Yeah. Just finish on up with some of the chats. Dirk, your friend sent you a house with fallen angels. The best part of the guy is busting each other's balls for fun. Not like that. Oh, a house of fallen angels. It was funny. At the end of the day, I thought it was funny. They just did it as a goof, and I didn't really mind. I thought it was funny. I walked out, I was like, you guys, you silly guys. Junior Johnson's in here. Hello, Hansy. Hello to you. Andy Dufresne. In the end, it's all about the bucks. Always the same. Minimize damage and keep loving your children and attack live. Listen, man, if we don't have love, we have nothing. If we don't have hope, we have nothing. Pure Palm says, hello and good afternoon, Dirk. Hello, Pure Palm. And a good afternoon to chat. Salutes and blessings to everyone. Tips cap. Likewise to you. I tip my cap to you as well. Watch it's Brian. Oh, well, I was going to invite you and Paul on a cruise with us. All expenses paid, but now I'll cancel the tickets. I think it would be so great if this channel got really, really big. I would rent out, if I ever did a ship thing, and I've said this to Paul 1,000 times, I had the opportunity to do the Queen Mary or the Queen Victoria across the ocean crossing, as I call it. I would do that, but the last thing I ever want to do is get on a boat and go to some tropical islands. Just not Turkey at all. Not my thing. I'm not into buffets. I hate fucking buffets. I hate them. First of all, All Paul does is walk around. I can't believe how much food they're wasting. I can't believe, you know, how many people can get fed with this food. You know how many people, because it's just gluttons. Like if you ever watch, I'm addicted to this channel, and I hate Las Vegas. I hate it. I think it sucks. I think it's a place where it's just horrible. Um, Maybe if I go with some friends, I was there for work and it was whatever. But it's just gross. Everything's a fucking buffet, and it's all these, like, you know, slovenly sloths scooping up 8 plates of food. I'm addicted to this channel, and it's this girl, and her name is Travel Ruby, and I like her. She's fun, and she goes around Las Vegas, and I don't know why I watch it, because I hate Vegas, but I like her, and her content is really good. Turns out she wound up moving to Las Vegas, but she went to this buffet the other day, and I'm looking at things, I was like, cruise ships are just like one big fucking buffet. So if I was to do a ship of, you know, any kind, it would be a transatlantic crossing where we have to get dressed up and wear our tails to dinner and drink some champagne, cigar lounge for the gents. You know, I would want to do that. I don't want to go hang around a pool and drink giant hurricanes, and just that. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. And I know it's not your thing either, Watch This Brian, because you're a classy bastard. Pure Palm says, I'm suspicious of people who don't enjoy Chopin. So am I. Who doesn't enjoy Chopin? When it comes to the classics, I'm a Bach guy. My main guys are like Bach, Beethoven, Albinoni, and then for opera, Bellini, Donizetti. I like all the bel canto shit. So much. Christmas time, Handel. There's so much beautiful music. So much beautiful music. You know, that's not Taylor Swift, you know. But yeah, I don't know. Chopin, I mean, it's just amazing. I'm always amazed when people don't enjoy Liszt as well, because Liszt is been on the pool deck. You've been on the pool deck of the SS United States? Have you? So the SS United States was, you know, like in those days, they didn't have shipped the pools outside. They had them down. It was like very saltwater pool all the way in the bottom. It's very cool. And actually, you don't realize, like, you're under the water right now. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. Some of those classical pieces as interpreted and played by guitarists are really, I mean, that all started with, I guess, like, you're talking about like rock guitar players, Ingve and those kind of people. Yeah. And now it's just gotten to the point where these 14-year-old kids, and they're just wailing out and doing arpeggios and all kind of crazy stuff. Taste. It starts with taste and passion and feel. That's why, you know, listen, the Eastern European musicians, to me, for classical music, they have the heart, they have the soul, they have the spirit. You know, Itzhak Perlman, you know, because of his backgrounds, you know, the suffering of the Jewish people and all of that stuff. Like, you know, when he played the theme to Schindler's List, which was written by a Goyim, John Williams, it's one of the most beautiful pieces in modern, you know, because let's face it, cinematic music is classical music. It's just, you know, for cinema. When he wrote that, Itzhak Perlman was like, how did you write this? It's, you know, it's amazing. It's got that Eastern European vibe. You know, American musicians, Asian musicians, they might be technically proficient and really good. I love Tiffany Poon. I subscribe to her channel. I think she's really good, and I think she's got heart and soul. But, you know, there's the Lang Langs that are just, you know, he's like Liberace. You know, I don't feel it. I enjoy it. I see it, but I don't feel it. You got to feel the passion. Scotty H, Lord H, the TWA hotel is definitely on your bucket list. Dude, you come to New York, Scotty H. This is a deal. Anybody comes to New York, we'll go to the TWA hotel. I love going there. I love it. Andrew says, I'm betting that Tom Jones will get the panties down for one song and take a look. Listen, man, they invented Tom Jones was the artist that throwing your underwear at somebody. It was Tom Jones. It was Tom Jones. Ray with 25 euros. Hell no. I'm a proud non-practicing Roman Catholic. Cash towards the SS United States. Dude, that's a deal. That's a deal for everybody in the house. I will talk to Paul and find out, like, the next time we go down there, and I'll let everybody know. I'll say, if you're in the New York area, I wish I was a big enough channel to say, get on the SS United States train. But, you know, unfortunately, I can't do that at this time. But I will one day. One day. Super chat for you, $25. Let's give you a mega brag. Thank you so much for that, Ray. That was so nice of you. Very UFO, like the band. I love UFO, the band. Michael Schenker is one of my favorites. Pure Palm says, Gallery of Bastards sound drop. My face melted. Yeah. The incredible talents of Emmett O'Malley. We've got a couple of tunes. Sunday, I'll be debuting the new theme for Sunday Mass, which is a whole different affair. Let me tell you that, with a very special guest star as well. Very true. Roar of the Tiger says, Dirk, did you know that Henry VIII received a papal title, Defender of the Faith, for a paper he wrote against Martin Luther? British monarchs still use the title. It's on their currency. I know. That's the whole thing. The whole idea of like a king or a queen being the head of a church is really very super creepy. But, that's just the way it is. And I'm not a history rewriter. So there you have it. Melly C says, flip flop. Yeah. Oh, well, sure. Or, definitely. Or if you're in any kind of public shower, you got to put something on your feet because there's fungus there. Scotty H says that Ray made a bull of a fan out of you. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That's amazing. Junior Johnson said, I had a conversation with Rashawn Roland Kirk and he asked me, where were you when I was living on candy bars and Coca-Cola? That's funny. Andrew says, Melly C, I haven't worn flip-flops since I was 10. Same reason, public showering camp. Yeah, listen, use them as a utility, but there are guys that walk around in New York City wearing cargo shorts and flip-flops. Ew, don't do that. It's horrible. And Tom Ford said so. And when I saw him say that, I felt so vindicated because I have been saying that all day long. Pure Palm says that chronometer with the lime green hands. Be still my beating heart, Pure Palm. I agree. Jacob Kendall is here. Afternoon, dropped my 2-year-old GMT off at my AJ. 14 seconds. Yikes. They're sending it off to RSC for me. Wow. Anyone have experience with something like that? 14 seconds. That's at least it didn't stop. It could be a variety of things. And it's only 2 years old. I hate to say it, but that sounds like a manufacturing defect. Listen, they'll take care of it. You got what do they give you on Rolex now? 5? It's 5, right? Was that Eminem Madness sang to the tune of Summertime Sadness? Yes, it was. I love me some Lana Del Rey there, Pure Prom. Eminem Madness. Yeah. Mork and Mindy Madness. I love Lana Del Rey. I think she's freaking amazing, fantastic. Is she a great singer? No. Is she a great performer? No. Is she a great artist? She sure is. Yeah. Gabri says it's a Samsung moon. That's what they're calling it, the Samsung moon. Does anybody remember Gil Scott-Heron? Everyone remember, where they should. And if they don't, they absolutely should. That's crazy. Andrew read that feral cats in Australia have evolved to be big and strong enough to go after kangaroos. Wow, that's scary. $1.99. Sorry, sent that from my work email. Has the logo. Okay, now I know. Let's give you. Did we do any bongos today? No. Did we do any cowboys? Let's do some cowboy. That's right. All good. Transatlantic crossing is the term, and not that kind of train. Yeah. I'm doing an Atlantic crossing. That's what I would totally do because I want to sit down and have a balcony in the cold of the winter and dinner by candlelight and all that stuff. Sure. I want to do all that. Andrew, with $5, take the time, give our favorite former bartender a fun. Oh, that's sweet of you. Be an inspiration in others' lives and a blessing in their memories to us. Andrew, you are just an inspiration to us all. Let's give you Gong Woman 3. Thank you so much, everybody. That is just about the show for today. A couple of minutes over, but I love to spend my days with you. Hump Day Wednesday. I want to thank everybody in the room for all their wonderfulness. Thanks to Andrew, Roar the Tiger, Dean, Luke, and Ray, and Al, and Andrew again for the little super chats. And that's very sweet of you. Listen, I love doing the show, and every little bit, you guys just tuning in makes it really special for me. Also want to thank everybody in my Patreon world. They are Jim Lassick, Andrew Wolkovich, Go Moto Soto, Nick Sisto, Complicated Time, Fergal McDermott, I'm Going Faster Than the Ticker Tape, Nathaniel Hannon, Dana O'Malley, and Lord Scotty H, and Dean McKenzie, Al Benedetti, Angelo Minichello, and Gasman 308, Danny L, Dave Fahrenheit 451, Dave Fitzsimons, Lady with the Wrench, Easy E, Mimi Reichenbach, Chris on the Upper East Side, Drew B, Scotty Love and Jocelyn Bittenbender, and now the incomparable Ray is a Patreon. Thank you, boys and girls. Guys, remember that you can reach me at basherdirk@gmail.com. That is basherdirk@gmail.com. You share them with me, and I share with the world, because that's how we do it on the iBashers. I love doing this show for you each and every single day other than Saturday, and that's just fine with me. So remember, guys, to hold the door open. Remember to say please and thank you. And always remember that when you encounter unkindness, you can't always know what that person's going through. Just give them the benefit of the doubt, because they could be having a bad day, either that or they're just a